Morning once again, dear students. Senior 4, we are now going to move to the introduction to biodiversity. It's biology in Senior 4, and still it is Teacher Richard. If you missed the previous videos on this YouTube channel, you can subscribe and watch the previous videos here on Kalam TV, and you are welcome, okay? We are now going to move to the introduction to biodiversity, okay? Dear students, first of all, what's biodiversity, okay? What's biodiversity? In O-level, in previous years, you might have not seen this word biodiversity, but this is the time to be familiar with the term that we will be dealing with in biology in later years, okay? We are now going to define this term, biodiversity. Definition: biodiversity is the variety and variability within living organisms okay, we have the variety and variability within living organisms and complexes in which they occur, okay? When we say we have a variety means there are a lot of living organisms in our ecosystem. In the world or where we live, we have a lot of different living organisms. Let's say, for example, we have, let's say this square is a certain ecosystem. In this square, we might have organisms like cows, we might have beans, we might have human beings. Let's say you have cats, okay? Let's say also we have lions. We have also different physical components which are not living. So all this makes this variety, okay? They are different. It's one ecosystem which consists of different organisms that help each other, okay? So this comes to the definition that says biodiversity is the variety and variability within living organisms and the complexes in which they occur, okay? Reminding you that these complexes are, of course, ecological. So, we are now going to define a lot of different terms that we will use through this biodiversity, okay? Through this unit, we have to deal with a lot of ecological key terms. We are going to define them one by one so that whenever we go to that point, you will know what exactly we are talking about, okay? So, definitions of key terms or definitions of ecological terms. Dear students, In previous years, Senior 1, Senior 2, Senior 3, you have studied this term ecology, okay? You start that it's a study of environment, okay? So in this environment, we have a lot of ecological terms, key terms that we deal with. The first term is the word species. What species? Species is a group of organisms. It's a group of organisms which can interbreed and produce a fertile offspring, okay? For example, a human being and another human being can interbreed to produce another fertile human being, okay? Group of organisms which can interbreed to produce a fertile offspring. A human being, whether he is a Rwandan and a Chinaman, because they can interbreed to produce a fertile offspring, they are of the common species, okay? Here there are some exceptions, okay? There are some cases where, example, human being okay, you have to take care, you have to be careful when you get here. Different organisms from different species can interbreed to produce an infertile, okay? An infertile offspring, okay? Dear students, different organisms from different species can interbreed to produce an infertile offspring, okay? Let's have an example here. Let's say usually organisms from same species interbreed, but when organisms like a horse, okay, when there is an interbreed of a horse and a donkey, can produce a mule, okay, the result of their mating is a mule, but this mule is infertile because they are not of the same species. Because donkey and horse are not of the same species. Okay? You can notice here the difference. We are now moving to other definitions. We also have the population. Population is a group of organisms of the same species which are at the same place at the same time. What actually does this mean? Group of organisms of the same species which are at the same place at the same time. For example, dear students, here human being in Rwanda, we are of the same species and we are of the same population because we are all in Rwanda at the same time. Another human being who is in China, we are of course of the same species because he is human too, but we are not of the same population because we are not in the same country at the same time, okay? Another Rwandan who is in America, a Rwandan who lives in America, who lives in Europe, we are of the same species, but we are not of the same population. So, dear students, we are moving to the next talk point, community. So, community consists of organisms of different species from different populations which inhabits the same place at the same time. Okay, we can have a community of human beings and goats and cows, all these organisms of different populations which occupies a certain place at the same time makes a community. We have also another definition. We have habitat. We'll go through this as we go in the unit. Habitat is a certain place which is occupied by organisms. For example, if a pond is occupied by fishes, that pond is an habitat for these fishes, okay? We have also the niche, an ecological niche. It identifies, okay? It identifies the role played by an organism in the a role spread by an organism in the community. So, dear students, we have population, community, habitat, niche, and you have already identified the species. And these are all ecological terms. And to end the session, you have also a biotic components. Abiotic components are these are the biological aspect or the living aspects which affects other organisms, okay? We have also the biotic. This was biotic. We have also the abiotic components. Which consist of the non-living aspects within the ecosystem. So, dear students, now we are done with the ecological definitions. I would like to thank you and invite you to the next sessions. Thank you.